In this video, we're going to talk about crocodiles. I mean, these are some of the planet's most ancient and, let's be honest, fascinating predators. They are true survivors from the age of dinosaurs. But you know what? There's so much more to them than just teeth and scales, so let's dive right in. So, here's the plan. We're going to start by meeting these ancient survivors. Then, we'll check out where they live around the world, follow them from tiny egg to giant adult, dig into their surprisingly complex social lives, and wrap it all up with 5 awesome facts that might just blow your mind. First up, meet an ancient survivor. So what exactly makes a crocodile a crocodile? Okay, so first things first. Crocodiles are these big, semi-aquatic reptiles. And here's a wild fact for you. Their closest living relatives? Birds. Yep, both crocs and birds are the last ones standing from a group called the archosaurs, which, you guessed it, included the dinosaurs. And if you've ever wondered how to tell them apart from alligators, it's actually pretty simple. Just look at the snout. A croc has a pointy, V-shaped snout, and you can see a lower tooth sticking out when its mouth is shut, kind of like a toothy grin. A gator, on the other hand, has a wider U-shaped snout. Alright, section 2, crocodiles across the globe. So, where on earth are you going to find these amazing creatures? Well, they're basically citizens of the world's warmest spots. You'll find them hanging out in wetlands, rivers, and close to waters all through the tropics. We're talking Africa, Asia, Australia, and the Americas. They absolutely love the heat. But you know, it's not all good news. Their future isn't always guaranteed. Take a look at this. While some species, like the big saltwater crocodile, are doing okay population-wise, others are in serious trouble. The Orinoco and Philippine crocodiles are critically endangered. There are desperately few of them left in the wild. Okay, on to section 3, the crocodile life cycle. How in the world does a crocodile go from being a fragile little egg to one of the planet's top predators? Well, it all starts right here. A single female crocodile can lay a whole bunch of eggs, anywhere from 10 to a whopping 100, and you better believe she's going to guard that nest with her life against anyone who gets too close. So let's break down their journey. They start as an egg, and get this, the temperature of the nest is what decides if the babies will be male or female. How cool is that? Then, as hatchlings, their mom gently carries them in her mouth down to the water to keep them safe. And from there, it's a long road. It can take up to 15 years for a juvenile croc to grow up and become a mature adult. And believe me, they are in it for the long haul. Crocodiles can live for a really long time, sometimes up to 70 years in the wild. And in captivity, some have even hit the 100-year mark. Wow. Now for section 4, a complex social order. You probably think of crocs as these lone wolves, right? Well, their social lives are way more complicated than you might think. It turns out there's a definite pecking order. Check out this quote. There's usually a big, dominant boss croc that rules the area. And what's really wild is that his presence actually seems to calm everyone else down and keep the peace. Okay, but what about friends? I'm sure you've heard the story of the crocodile bird, right? The one that supposedly hops in the croc's mouth to clean its teeth. So, is that for real? It's a fantastic story of teamwork, for sure. But it's pretty much just that, a story. Scientists have looked and looked, but there's no real proof it happens. The thing is, crocodiles are constantly losing and regrowing teeth anyway, so they kind of have their own built-in dental plan. In reality, their biggest enemies are humans, because of things like hunting and habitat destruction. And finally, let's wrap this up with our last section, 5 surprising facts. Get ready for some incredible tidbits that make these creatures even more amazing. First off, they have the strongest bite in the entire animal kingdom. No contest. Second, they are literal living fossils. They were around with the dinosaurs and survived the asteroid that wiped them out. Third, mothers and babies actually talk to each other with little croaks and calls. Fourth, they are absolute masters of the ambush hunt. And last but not least, a fun one, they literally can't stick out their tongue because a membrane holds it down. So when you put it all together, it's clear these are incredibly evolved, super resilient creatures that have totally mastered the art of survival for millions of years. It really makes you stop and think, what can these living fossils teach us about resilience? Alright, that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.